revolution is taking place in Skåne. A revolution for the benefit and enjoyment of everyone in Skåne, but a revolution that is difficult to see because it's taking place underground. And this is it, the Bas Network. Bas in Swedish stands for Broadband for everyone in Skåne and is based on the vision that everyone in Skåne should have access to broadband. The Bas Network is essential for implementing the combined vision of growth, attraction, sustainability and balance. The conditions should be good for living in Skåne. Opportunities must be available for community services and businesses alike, both in urban and rural areas.
Bredbandet är idag liksom en
Broadband today is the linchpin in the technological network. A linchpin in all social life, in everyday life, in school life, in business life, in political life, in the media context. And more is happening within this network. Of course, there's no difference in rural areas either, although we may perhaps be more dependent on it. In the little village of Ösjö, the commitment was so great that an association was created for promoting the development of broadband. I think this is a classic situation because this is how it starts, has always started in Sweden. When people feel they have a need for something, they form an association. I work as a journalist with science as my main area of interest, and I'm able to sit here and listen to a conference taking place on the other side of the world, involving the foremost and most knowledgeable experts in molecular biology, neurobiology or whatever, and can have it all here in my office via the speakers just when I want it. It's nothing less than a total revolution. This revolution is also taking place within the medical service. The Bas Network has created new possibilities. Operations are now supervised and X-rays regularly sent between different medical treatment facilities. In the future, even greater possibilities will be demanded, and not least concerning a high standard of care within the home. Access to a well-developed IT infrastructure is also a precondition within modern trade and industry. Demands for new services and higher capacity are increasing all the time. Companies in Skåne must have the same opportunities as those in other countries. This revolution is taking place all over the world. And it's also helping to broaden democracy. TV images from delegate assemblies are now stored and distributed via the Bas Network, making it possible to follow political procedures when it's convenient. A characteristic of the age in which we're now living is the demand for fast information. The old industrial age was structured differently. Time then was in plentiful supply. However, the demands on the resources and the strain on the environment were many times greater than they are today. We're now living in an age of learning, where broadband is equally as important as the water supply, roads and railways. This can be illustrated by the Öresund Bridge. Here road, rail and broadband traffic all run side by side. The development of the Bas Network is coordinated by Skåne, which is owned by the County Council and the Skåne Association of Local Authorities. The Öresund Bridge is important for the Bas Network. Via its fibre cables it extends out to the continent and also allows the continent to reach Skåne. It's a PPP with very many partners involved, all acting in cooperation. In this way the resources are shared, enabling it to be a long-term investment rather than being financed by a single party. The private partner in the project is Tele2. There are two major advantages. Firstly, that we at Tele2 would never dare make such an economic investment on our own, but now we can in cooperation with the public sector of Skåne. The second advantage is that we are present in the construction of an open, competitively neutral network which is not managed by one interested party. The Bas Network consists of approximately 2,000 kilometers of fibre cable. There are approximately 270 cable terminal stations, often situated in close proximity to a telecommunications office. The fibre cables may also terminate in a cellar of a local government building or in a subterranean shelter. In total, approximately €100 million have been invested over a 3-year period. A little more than a quarter consists of an urban network owned by the local authorities, who thus represent an important part of the Bas Network. The project is a good example of how cooperation between the public sector and trade and industry can be an advantage for all concerned and help secure a long-term open IT infrastructure.
The Bas Network has led to an increase in efficiency. Our work can now be developed further as a direct result of the Bas Network. An example of this is the project Rescue Services South, a joint rescue service involving 5 local councils all working together. The company has recently decided upon a joint internet connection and as a result make an estimated saving in the region of 20 to 30%. And that's just one example. In the future, we shall continue to develop the Bas Network even further so that the cables extend to every household.
My vision of the Bas Network is to have the fibre cables out to the households and make use of what is on offer in the future. It's important for a number of aspects. For example, it's good for the environment to sit and work 1 day a week at home, for the medical service, for community interaction, for the things we value in life, for the inhabitants of the country and not least for the rural areas. It will help make Skåne more attractive. We have built the Bas Network for it to be reliable in the future when we have to cope with all the demands that are going to be made on broadband. The next step, of course, is to develop it further. We have now satisfied the association and through the work done we have acquired the most up-to-date and best technology all the way to the village. It's now perfectly feasible to imagine the fibre cables extending all the way to the individual households. By utilising the new opportunities made available through technology, quality of life can be improved at the same time as saving the environment. The Bas Network is a prerequisite for achieving this vision.